I see you showing off your Franz Wagner collection. I hope I said his name right. Really talented player for the Orlando Magic. For people that don't know, it's got a really nice young team there. He's a really actually kind of a nice player. You show off these cards all the time of this guy. First of all, how much money do you have into your Franz Wagner collection, and what was the thought process behind doing that? Behind starting your collection of him?
So I probably have I would say somewhere between 50 and 75,000 invested in him. And I like to go off eye tests. Like, I'm a diehard basketball fan, diehard football fan, and I used to watch a ton of college basketball. It's a little bit tougher these days with so much going on in the hobby. But I literally watch so many games, especially like the past 10 years of my life, and I'll see players and I'm like, there's certain things that I look for to see if I want to invest in them. Like, you always got to have a jumper. You always got to have size. Like, I think, honestly, besides Steph Curry, he's an anomaly to the rule. But in my opinion, if you're not like 6'6" or taller, you're fighting an uphill battle. It's like being a 6-foot quarterback. It's just a lot tougher for those people. So it's like, I like when you have a jumper, when you have size, when you can get to the rim, when you can dribble, when you can pick and roll, when you can do all those things. And I also want to see continuous growth. If you look at Franz Wagner at Michigan, Michigan is more of like a team. The way they play, it's more of like a team game. That's like how most of
Sure.
college is. So it's kind of tough to see if a player is going to get a lot better. And the other thing about college basketball, too, is the court's a lot smaller. So it favors smaller players. If you're
Okay.
like a 7-foot wing in college, you don't really have the space to operate. And that's what
Sure.
the NBA is predicated on. It's predicated on big people having opportunity to like do stuff. So I like Trey Young. He's a lot better in the NBA than he was in college. He's not having the best year now, but the game is different from college to the NBA. So I look at players that I think the NBA is more suited for their style of game versus college.
Okay, so you have quite a bit of money. You said 50 to 75K into Franz. Are you actively selling him as well, or are you just accumulating? And then if you're not selling, when is your trigger to sell Franz Wagner? Is it years later? Is it like what's your thought process? You have a lot of money invested to him. What's the exit strategy?
So pretty much in 2018, 2019, I invested a ton into Luka Doncic. But the
Okay.
problem was I did very well. But if I held some of the cards longer, I would have done a lot better. And it's like this is something that's happened to me in the past where I pick guys and I would sell them in year two because I'm up, let's say 40, 50%. But then it's like I'm missing the boat on the true upside to go up like 4 or 5x. So with Franz, it's like I probably want to keep a lot of his better cards. I haven't sold one card of him yet, but he's honestly gone up a lot in price in the last like 4 or 5 months. I don't know why, but if I could like double my money on a player, I'm probably going to sell some of the worst cards in my collection in order to free roll the better cards, if that makes sense.